How are you all doing? And today we are going to deal with the next part of speech, adverb. And I can say confidently that many students and even the English teachers, they may have several doubts about adverbs, their types, and the differences between adverbs and adjectives. And I'm sure and I can ensure that all your doubts are going to be clarified, rectified, and they're going to be nullified with this today's session if you are going to listen to it carefully, attentively. And now we are going to start the adverb with its definition. So all of us know very well the definition about the definition of adverb. So what is an adverb? Generally, you might have learnt in your childhood that an adverb is a word that qualifies or modifies a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or an adverb itself. An adverb is a word that qualifies a verb simply. Just by looking at the heading itself, adverb, so you can find the word add. It means we are adding something more. We are adding something more to a verb. Not only a verb, but also we are adding something to an adjective, something to another adverb which is already present in the given sentence. And even I can go to that extent of saying that even an adverb is a word that also modifies or qualifies prepositions sometimes. And now we'll see how and why. For example, definition is, of course, an adverb is a word that adds something more to a verb or an adjective or an adverb. Adding something more, nothing but qualifying. An adverb is a word that qualifies, that modifies, or that adds something more to any of these 3 or 4 factors. And now look at the example. The horse runs fast. All of us know horse is the subject. Name of an animal, it's a noun, subject. And runs is an action word, that's why it's a verb. It's a verb, action word. The horse runs. What is the horse doing? What does horse do? It runs. But when the question arises how it runs, then we can say the horse runs fast, the horse runs slow, like that. So here the example is the horse runs fast. How it runs? Fast. So this new word in the sentence fast is qualifying, modifying, adding something more to the meaning of the verb. Adding something more to the meaning of the verb. The verb runs. So that's why the word fast becomes adverb. Adverb runs fast. So how can we get it confirmed that the word fast, it is qualifying or modifying or adding something more to its meaning of this particular verb only? How can we say? How can we prove? A very simple blunt hint I can give you to understand and to identify very easily, my dear friends. Just you have a look at the board, look at the example. The horse runs fast. I am saying this word fast, it is coming in the sentence for the sake of verb. So it is qualifying, it is modifying, it is adding something more to the meaning of this verb. That's why it is becoming adverb I am saying. But question is how? How can we get it confirmed? So I am saying, what I am saying, it's a blunt hint, dear friends. See, just you think verb is not there in the sentence, runs is not there in the sentence. Just you imagine runs is not there, only subject and this fast is there. Just by missing or by closing this particular word runs, this verb, just you think verb is not there. Imagine verb is not there, and what are the remaining 2 factors left over in the sentence? The horse and fast. If it is true that the word fast is coming for the sake of subject, when you combine both of them, when you read clubbing both of them, so meaning should go suitable or apt. It should sound sensible. It should sound sensibly. or it should we need to feel that yeah, meaning is there, something is sensible, we need to feel. Yeah, just think runs is not there. So we are reading these two, subject and adverb, are fast, the word fast. The horse fast, the horse fast. So do you feel, do you think that it is suitable, it is matchable? Do these two words, both the words combiningly, are they giving any proper meaning? They both do they make any sense? No, obviously no. So it means this word fast is not coming for the sake of this subject in this sentence. That is the blunt hint anybody can ever give. And second option is verb. And now imagine subject is not there. Just imagine subject is absent in the sentence, and what are the two factors left over in the sentence? Verb and this fast. And now you combine both of them and read runs fast, runs slow, walks slow. Yeah, here something is sounding meaningful, sensible. That's why this word fast is coming for the sake of this verb in this sentence. It's a blunt hint. So that's how we can say adverb qualifies a verb in the first example. The horse runs, and how it runs? Fast. It runs fast, it runs slow, like that. And the second example, the same example I have taken, the horse runs fast. It's okay. The horse, same subject, runs verb we have seen, fast is adverb, just now we have proved. And here, see, the horse runs fast. It's okay. If I question you how fast, it is, you can say the horse runs very fast, the horse runs so fast, the horse runs dead fast, the horse runs too fast. So your answers can be here: very, too, so, very fast, too fast, so fast, dead fast, damn fast. So all these extra words I am using for the sake of this already existing adverb. Fast is the word that I am using extra here is very, another. It becomes another adverb. So extra adverb, already one adverb is present in the sentence, fast. And this particular new word, very, it is qualifying, it is modifying, it is adding something more to this already existing adverb fast. That's why by qualifying this already present adverb fast, this newly added word very also becomes adverb according to its definition. And if you take the next example, already we have seen an adverb is a word that qualifies a verb. Okay, in the first example we have seen an adverb is a word that qualifies another adverb itself. So in the second example we have seen that point. And one more one, an adverb is a word that qualifies an adjective too. It should qualify an adjective also. So in the third example, see, have a look. She is strong, she is beautiful. Yeah, she is the subject, and strong is adjective because it qualifies noun or pronoun, nothing but subject. So she is the subject, strong is adjective, she is strong. Now if I question you, she is strong, it's okay, she is strong. How strong is she? If my next question to you is how strong is she, you can say she is so strong, she is very strong, she is too strong, so etc. So strong, too strong, very strong, you can say. So all these extra words that we are adding for the sake of this already existing adjective, so these words, extra words, so, too, very, they become adverbs. Here I have added so, she is so strong, she is very strong. So this so or very, they are qualifying this adjective strong. By qualifying the adjective, they are becoming, or so is becoming, too is becoming, very is becoming an adverb. This is the definition and examples of adverb. And now let's focus on types of adverbs. There are different types, majorly broadly 5 types, but if we split them into, in terms of their different categories and all, up to 7 to 8 types, at least 7 types maximum we can split and let's focus on these types easily, very easily we can understand. First one, adverbs of time. As its name suggests, these adverbs, they denote some time. It means these adverbs, in these examples, which are the adverbs that are underlined, they are answering the question when. When means it has some time sense. Now, examples are, I am teaching now. What am I doing? I am teaching now. So, when am I teaching? Now. I am teaching now. Now denotes some time. Now denotes some time. That's why it is adverb of time. And you need to know whether it becomes an adverb or not. Whether it becomes an adverb or not. How can it become an adverb? It becomes an adverb then only when it qualifies a noun. Sorry, when it qualifies a verb. When it qualifies a verb. What is the verb here? Teaching. Teaching is the main verb. And this word now, it is coming for the sake of this verb teaching. I am teaching now. I mean to say, if the verb is not there, if verb teaching is not there in this example, there is no need of writing now. Nothing but adverb. No need of writing any adverb. If verb is not there, if adjective is not there, if another adverb is not there, no need of writing any kind of adverb. So, I am teaching now. I am teaching when? I am teaching now. So, now denotes time. It is giving some time sense and it is qualifying, it is adding something more to the meaning of teaching, to the meaning of the verb teaching. So, by qualifying teaching, it becomes an adverb. Now becomes an adverb. And next one, they came here. They came here yesterday. They came here yesterday. When did they come here? If the question arises, when did they come here? Answer is they came here yesterday. So, these adverbs of time, they give answers to the question when a particular action happens, when a particular action occurs. So, answers, these adverbs are nothing but the answers to the question when, with regard to the adverbs of time. See, they came here yesterday. When did they come? They came here yesterday. Yesterday is adverb of time. And this yesterday, it is qualifying the verb came. It is qualifying the verb came. Verb came. They came when? Yesterday. They came when? Last night. They came when? Last Sunday, 2 days ago, something like that. So, these are adverbs of time. Next example, we will discuss it later. Later means when? After some time, after a while, later. Later also gives some time sense. It gives some time. That's why it denotes some time. That's why later also becomes adverb of time. Adverb of time. And basically, whether it becomes an adverb or not, definitely, absolutely it becomes an adverb, because so later it qualifies the verb discuss. It qualifies the verb discuss. That's why it becomes an adverb. And we'll discuss it later, or you can say we'll discuss it sooner, we'll discuss it soon, or we'll discuss it tomorrow, we'll discuss it, yeah, etc. The day after tomorrow. So all these examples, late, later, soon, sooner, tomorrow, today, now, then, early, etc. These words, they denote some time, and they give the clarity when that particular action happens in a given sentence. That's why they become adverbs of time. Now the second type, adverbs of place. Adverbs of place. And here in these examples, these adverbs are the answers to the question where. Where the action happens. Not when. Where the action happens. See, examples, if you see, please come here. Please come here. Come is the verb. Please come here. Where to come? Here. Please go there. Where to go? There. So, here, there, near, down, away, beside, all these words, key factors, they indicate some place. That's why they are adverbs of place. And how do they become adverbs? See, let us focus on the examples. Please come here. So come is the verb. If this verb is there, then only the importance of here, the word here, also is reflected. If verb is not there, no need of writing here. Simply please. That's it. Please what? No meaning. So please come. Please come means where? Please come where? Where to come? Here. Please come here. So here indicates some place, and this word here is qualifying. It is adding something more to the meaning of verb, so it becomes an adverb. Next example: climb up. Climb up. Climb where? Up. Climb up. Generally, up, down, etc. They are prepositions. Still, according to the context and the situation, they act as adverbs too. So climb up. Climb is the verb. That's why this verb is qualified by this word up. So it becomes an adverb. Next one, go away. Where to go? Away. Go away. Next one, go down. Where to go? Go down. Next one, go there. Where to go? There. So these words, away, down, there, they are qualifying this verb where. They are adding something more to the meaning of the verb go. That's why they are becoming adverbs. Go away, go down, go there, etc. Next example, sit near him. Sit near him. Sit where? Near him. Sit beside him, by the side of him. Sit where? By the side of him, beside him. So these near, beside, they are qualifying, they are adding something more to the meaning of this verb sit. That's why they become adverbs. Near, sit, near, beside, etc. They become adverbs. Next one, the ball is moving forward and backward. The ball is moving forward and backward. Forward and backward. These forward and backward, they are indicating directions. Direction is nothing but place. Direction is nothing but place. So the ball is moving forward and backward in these two directions. So the words forward and backward also become adverbs in this sentence, in this example. Yeah, this is how we can denote adverbs of place. And these adverbs of place, they give the answers to the question where. To the question where. And now I can say one more thing. Almost all the prepositions, situationally, contextually, almost all the prepositions, they act as adverbs also according to the situation. And next one, third type of adverbs, adverbs of reason. Reason means they give some clarity. These adverbs of reason, they give answer to the clarity. They give answer very clearly. They give clarity in fact. And now, see, when two actions happened, for the second action, the first action might be the reason. For the second action, the first action might be the forceful reason or forcing reason. For example, they didn't follow the lockdown rules. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. And so the police arrested them. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. Therefore, the police arrested them. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. Hence, the police arrested them. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. Henceforth, the police arrested them. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. That's why the police arrested them. They didn't follow the lockdown rules. Thus, the police arrested them. And so, the police arrested them. And the underlined words like therefore, hence, henceforth, that's why, thus, and so is generally conjunction. It's a coordinate conjunction. Still here, in this example, it acts as an adverb because it is giving all these underlined words, they are stating and giving clear-cut reason. They are giving some clarity why the action happened. Why did the police arrest them? Because they didn't follow the lockdown rules. So, and so, that's why, hence, henceforth, thus, the police arrested them. So these underlined words, they become adverbs because they are qualifying the verb. Police arrested. Arrested is the verb. And they are stating the reason why. They are stating the reason why the police arrested them. They are giving the answer to the question why. That's why they become adverbs, and they are stating the reason very clearly. They are giving clarity. That's why they become adverbs of reason. They are giving clarity, pretty clarity. And now next one, fourth one, adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner. Manner means the way how an action is done in a sentence. The way how an action is done in a sentence. For example, she sings sweetly. Have a look at the board. She sings sweetly. How sweetly? Very sweetly. Okay. Singing is verb. If you take she subject, sings verb, she sings. Okay. How does she sing? How she sings? Sweetly. Nicely. How does she sing? She sings well. And all these extra words like sweetly, nicely and well, they are qualifying the verb sing. If the verb sings is not there in this example, no need of writing sweetly, nicely, well, beautifully and so on. No need of writing. Still here, these underlined words like sweetly, nicely and well, they are adding something more to the meaning of the verb sings. She sings, yeah. How she sings? How does she sing? She sings nicely, beautifully, loudly, sweetly, harshly, well, and all these extra factors, they are enhancing or increasing or adding something more to the meaning of the verb sings, so they are becoming adverbs. And here very also becomes adverb. How? She sings sweetly. Okay. If I ask you how sweetly, how much sweetly? Very sweetly you can say. So very also becomes an adverb by qualifying the already present, already existing adverb. Sweetly, nicely or well. She sings very well, she sings very sweetly, she sings very nicely. And the next example, he writes neatly. Yeah, he subject, writes verb, yeah, he writes, it's okay. And how he writes, how does he write? Neatly. Neatly is qualifying this verb writes. So it becomes adverb. It becomes adverb. Yeah, he writes neatly. Neatly becomes adverb by qualifying the verb writes. And how he writes neatly. How neatly he writes? So neatly, very neatly. So this so also becomes adverb. Here also very becomes adverb. He writes very neatly. He writes so neatly. And he writes beautifully. How does he write? He writes beautifully, etc. So neatly, beautifully, so become adverbs. In the first example, sweetly, nicely, well, very, they become adverbs. In the next example, third example, they think wisely. Their subject, think verb. How do they think? Wisely. They think wisely. So this word wisely is qualifying the verb think. If think is not there, we don't need to mention any of these extra words. That's why the existence of adverb is just because of the existence of presence of verb. That's the meaning. In other words, they think wisely. How do they think? Wisely, cleverly, nicely, foolishly, talentedly. So accordingly. So according to that. So these words wisely, cleverly, foolishly, they become adverbs. They become adverbs by qualifying. And friends, that's all for now. And in the next video lesson, we'll focus on the remaining 3 types of adverbs, and also in the further videos, we'll see the differences between adjectives and adverbs. Thank you. If you like this video, share, subscribe, comment in the comment section, and like it. Bye bye.